Hey, Ben.
Hey, Tanner.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie How to Eat Fried Worms as a kid?
Let's reel it in. I had to draw attention to the set
Right, yeah.
because this will not go unnoticed.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Too much time is put into this. I had to real quick just really reel it into that.
Right, right.
Anyway, second
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, we're here, we're doing it. And hey, welcome back. Hey, I'm glad you're here,
We're glad you're here.
first and foremost. Wiersma is glad you're here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reckledge is glad you're here. I had to make sure. I have to make sure. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. If you found this podcast only audio, we have video, by the way. So
We do.
If you aren't watching video, if you're wondering why we're laughing at each other all the time, it's because we do goofy stuff in person.
Because we're goofy people.
Because we're
Tanner.
goofy people. We're goofy goobers. And have you ever seen that movie?
We'll add it to the list.
That's a list. SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Yeah. So if you want to watch us on YouTube, look up this podcast name, look up the movie probably, and you'll find us. So yeah,
You will.
and we're glad you're here. We're glad you're listening. So
Indeed. All right, so Tanner, start us off.
well, today,
Movie?
what
Well,
drink do
pause.
we got?
Whoa,
first?
whoa, 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 whoa,
Whoa, now, partner.
I'm way too ahead.
Hold
Tanner,
on.
say what you're gonna say.
Sheesh.
Say what you need to say.
Say what you need to say. I was gonna say that we're drinking LaCroix today.
We are drinking LaCroix today.
Dink and Stink.
Ooh. Is that copyrighted? Dinking and sinking.
Oh shoot, yeah, probably, but that's okay.
Okay.
Good Mythical Morning is not gonna find
Hey,
us.
how about we sink and then dink? Mm-hmm. That was a really good visual.
Not
joke
copyrighted.
Right there. Not copyrighted.
That's our own thing now. Yeah, dude. So we're drinking limoncello LaCroix today, which you said to me that it's like a favorite of yours.
It is a favorite. It's tied for first. Limoncello LaCroix and key lime pie LaCroix. Tied for first, hands down.
So this one tastes like
Like a lemon pound cake. Yeah.
and then key lime pie. Which you mean to tell me that you like drinking things that are actually like cake and pie?
Yeah. It's refreshing. You know, I don't drink cake and pie. What are you saying?
It's just weird,
I don't understand.
dude. So how to eat fried worms? So
Anyway.
this is a movie that you watched as a kid. So
Relentlessly. On repeat.
So I watched this. This is I watched. We rewatched the movies, right? And so Ben watched it today. You told me, right?
Yes.
And I watched it last night. And watching it last night was the third time I've ever seen this movie
Really?
for real. And it's
For real.
this movie's weird, guys. If this is your favorite movie and the reason why you looked up How to Eat Fried Worms because you were expecting someone to talk about it eventually, we're glad you're here.
We're glad you're
But
those
we're also like questioning your taste in movies.
Hey, you stay out of that, man. This movie's great. I love this movie.
Okay.
Movie's too good for
This
its
movie's
own good.
whack, guys. This movie is wacky wormy. So a little bit about the movie. It's rated PG for pretty gross, and it came out in 2000.
I almost did a real spit take. A for real spit take.
It came out in 2006, which was a great year for our nation's economy.
I
That was
don't remember.
2008. Never mind.
I don't know. I know I was 4 or like
You're
5.
I was
What
9.
year?
I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
4 year age gap. We'll just do quick math
Every
at a
time.
time.
That's
Every
a
time,
4-year
quick math
gap.
At 4 years. Gotcha.
So, yeah, it came out in 2006. It was rated PG, and this movie was geared towards, you guessed it, children. Like Ben and I.
Worms.
This
Not geared towards worms. This would probably be a horrifying movie for worms to watch.
100%. 100%. It's just weird. Like it's
What
the
a thought.
The whole thing is disgusting. Can we agree on that?
It is a gross
Disagree
movie.
this movie's
PG for pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
Pretty gross.
Pretty
Yeah.
gross, pretty
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
Another thing, real quick, before we get into this, is I decided to make this very worm theme. So if you're watching the video, we have worms hanging up on our little what's this thing called?
Corkboard.
Cork board.
Corkboard.
And then we also have a couple gummy worms just laying around. We're gonna just feast a little bit while we're recording. So if you don't like ASMR, I suggest you tuning out. So, yeah, man, are you ready to get into this?
I'm ready, Tanner. Take it away with the summary.
All right, man. So, movie, How to Eat Fried Worms. Let me give you a little summary of this movie. Billy, 11-year-old Billy, is your typical new kid on the block, okay? After his parents forced him to move and go to a new school, we found out that Billy isn't extremely liked from the beginning,
Oh,
especially by this guy named Joe. He's a troublemaker at school, right?
Joe the Joke.
He's a school bully, and on top of that, he has a small gang of other guys that are just punks, right?
A gang?
He has a gang.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, they do symbols too. It
Oh
really
my
freaks
word.
me out.
I don't remember that part of the movie.
Deleted scene.
Fair,
So,
fair.
Um,
That's a deep dive. Anyway.
they actually had a deleted scene of them doing the symbols. I'd be like, yo, let's put that in the front of this video.
Movie was actually originally rated R. A lot
Right.
of violence.
For
a lot
really
of
gross.
Really. Yeah. Just really.
For rancid. It
For
was disgusting.
rancid. I
It
like
was
that.
Disgusting.
That's good. That's good.
This movie made me feel, for lack of a better term, cantankerous. And I did not
Cantankerous.
like this movie.
Did make me feel a little queasy,
Yes, which we'll get into why.
for sure.
So, these kids, this gang, Joe and the gang,
Joe and the gang.
Joe and the gang,
Joe and the boys.
Joe and the boys for Saturday. I'm copying you right now.
We went over this last time. Sometimes we don't know what to say. In general, like people do this all the time, but you will just say the last sentence of what the person just said.
The last person, what the person just said.
Of what the person just said.
See,
See?
so these kids and Joe, they just terrorize all the new kids. They're just punks, right? So when Billy shows up on his first day of school, they decide to, pick on him.
Yeah.
I mean, what else you can say? But Billy doesn't have it too bad.
Yeah.
Because he also makes a couple friends, especially this girl, Erica.
Irk.
who everyone at school calls her Irk.
Irk!
We're calling her Irk.
Irk! That was another gang sound. When the
Just don't play it backwards.
Just don't play it back.
Great. Oh, you said it.
What?
But then he meets this kid, Adam, who got punched by Joe, the main bully, by his death ring. I want to talk about that in a little bit.
For sure.
And apparently this ring leaks venom into your blood and kills you in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I also don't know what grade this kid is in.
I think it's pre-middle
Early.
school
Yeah, maybe
or like
5th
first grade. No, I'm
Not
sorry. No.
first- he's
No.
11. He's at 11.
First year. 11. So
So
what
he's
does
probably
that
like
make
6th
you?
or 5th grade.
It's not, wow.
Same as Max from last episode. He was 11.
Dang. He
All
really.
these 11-year-old kids. Everyone, I guess, directors think that 11-year-olds have it big.
I
That's
guess
like the
so. I
last
mean,
year they have it.
you're like 3 hands old by that age. You're off the 2 hands.
You're off the grid, yeah. Off the grid.
You're off the grid. He's very much on the grid.
Yeah, right.
He is trapped in that small town.
I guess so. Adult directors think that 11-year-olds are like, that's the last year that you can have fantasy and like all this
I
like,
guess so.
imagination.
I guess so.
So, so you're probably wondering, at this point, you're probably wondering
I am.
what all this movie has to do with worms. Why? Like,
Oh,
so far
yeah.
it seems normal, right?
Yeah.
It gets whack.
Whack.
So,
That was a nice exhale.
So to thicken the plot of this film,
Mm-hmm.
some of Joe's gang members. So this is the scene. Some of these punks,
Joe and the boys.
Joe and the boys, but not Joe, but the boys,
The boys.
steal Billy's lunch on the first day of school,
Mm.
and they shove a handful of worms inside his soup.
His
Soup.
thermos.
Oh, thermos, but it's soup
Gotcha.
or chowder.
Cream of wheat.
Chowder.
Have you?
Who the freak? If you're under the age 60 and you eat chowder, we need to talk.
Then you really are a
Talk
loser.
to us for a
You
minute
really
because
gotta,
we're
yeah.
questioning you. Also, if you're watching How to Eat Fried Worms at any age,
Any age.
you don't even have to be 11. It's
It's like an hour and a half long infomercial of how to eat fried worms. I feel educated.
yeah. So
It's good to laugh at ourselves, you know?
yeah, 100%. So this was a slimy trick by these kids, no pun intended. To dodge
Think you're lying to me.
embarrassment.
Anyway.
To dodge the embarrassment, Billy pretends that he loves to eat worms. When he finds it, he pretends he's like, "Oh yeah, I love worms. I eat these all day, every day."
All day, every day.
Because he doesn't want to be embarrassed, so he tries to make it a joke, and in the process, he throws like a worm at Joe's face. The bully, Joe. He's a redhead.
Joe the joke.
Joe the joke. So the jokester got joked, right?
Gotcha.
So this is a big mistake for Billy because now Joe is out to kill him.
Pretty much. There were a couple of scenes where I feel like, not because he's a redhead, but he's going to blow his top and just like literally kill one of his gang members.
Yeah. So, in this process, everyone now decides to give him the nickname Worm Boy. Which there's a scene in this movie where they go, Worm Boy!
Not the worst nickname. Not the worst nickname. I would not mind being called Worm Boy.
Why?
We'll get into that later. Oh, no. It's the mix of the sour crawlers and the LaCroix, just ingesting food and liquids on a podcast.
This is
not
my
a good
co-host,
idea.
everyone.
It's about, oh, fuck.
So,
That'd be a one-man show. I'll see myself
yeah,
out.
episode 3. Episode 3 is just me.
Yeah.
And I keep going back and forth.
Just back and forth to each mic.
It's like that Disney Pixar short where it's the old man playing chess with himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
But
Same as the old man from Toy Story 2 who fixed up Woody.
I did know that.
Wow.
Okay, so after being called Worm Boy, Billy is sick and tired of this new nickname.
For sure.
But he pretends to love worms. So instead of throwing in the towel and giving into the embarrassment of the bullying, Joe and his gang decide to challenge Billy to test his strength to see if he's legit that he actually likes worms by challenging Billy to eat 10 worms for one day, or else he'll have to show up to school with worm in his pants.
That's very inventive.
Couldn't agree more.
That's very specific, too.
I would just talk about a bad bargain, right?
I mean, why not just punch him with the death ring? Like, if you don't eat these 10 worms, I'm going to punch you with my death ring.
For sure.
Anyway, for sure.
So the day comes.
For sure.
And Billy has to babysit his younger brother named Woody. Weird name.
Yes. What?
Woody.
We just talked about Woody. Full circle.
Full circle.
Holy Woody.
So, he has to watch his brother Woody. So he asks Erica, otherwise known as
Erk,
if she can watch him while he endures the 10 worms while he has to do his challenge.
Yes.
So we're going to get into that. So throughout the whole thing, these gang members that are like 11.
We should stop calling them that.
These little punks.
Should let them go.
These little punks and Joe, they take Billy to different places to cook these worms.
Yep.
And
10 worms.
10 worms, right. So speaking of the worms, here are the 10 worms that Billy is forced to eat throughout the day.
List them off.
Number 1 is called Le Big Porker.
You gotta do it with a little
Le
French
Big
hands.
Porker.
Yes.
Yeah, if you don't see me, I'm doing this.
A little bit of the
big-
cook the meatball.
Le
I
Big
cook the
Porker.
worm.
I'm going to do a different accent for every worm.
Got you.
Le Big Porker. It's a worm smothered in lard.
Lard. Pig lard.
Next we have the greasy brown-toed bloater special, which is just a French fryer and liver juice.
You really backed yourself into a corner
Dude,
with this. You
no,
gotta
I'm
do
screwed.
8
Now I
more
got 8 more,
impressions.
We got the burning fireball, which is just Louisiana hot sauce, tomato paste, and cheese.
I feel like I'm in a Ford commercial.
Oh, no, an Arby's commercial.
Oh, yeah. We have the worms.
Arby's. We have the worms.
Boom, boom, boom.
Arby's, we'll give you worms. Oh, no, I have a couple more to do. All right. Marshmallow. Marshmallow, ketchup, and tuna fish. I can't do anymore.
You have to sneeze? You have to sneeze?
That's I can't have to sneeze.
Just do tenor voice for the next one.
The magnified worm, which is just a magnified glass worm.
Let me hear your Kermit.
Now we got the peanut butter and worm jam sandwich.
Yes.
Which is just PB&J and worm.
Wow.
Who else? Oh, I could do Barack Obama.
Go for it.
We got the green saucer with a little bit of spinach and broccoli. And I'm like doing the hand
Some
shake.
spinach.
Some spinach. I did say spinach.
Spinach and
we got spinach and
broccoli.
It's going to be great. Oh, man, I'm trying to think of
Here,
two more accents.
You can actually you can do a really good impression of me. So do
I can?
You can do me real quick. Yeah, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. The radioactive slime delight is the next one, and that's the one I just did. Silly me. My name's Tanner. The next is just a plain worm thrown into the lake, the mudworm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good impression.
Thanks,
Tanner.
man. I really tried my
That
hardest.
was really good. That did not go as well as I thought it would. That was.
I'm just expecting the camera to be panned on me.
I forgot what worm we were on when I started doing
Did you
that.
say the radioactive one?
I did.
Okay, that's just a microwave worm.
Oh, that's when I skipped over. Actually, no, the radioactive slime delight. That was the worm they exploded in the microwave.
Yes, there was a worm that was in the microwave, and then there was one just thrown into the water it was mud.
Like I said, this movie would be horrifying for actual worms to watch it.
Yes. Oh, for sure. These worms would watch the movie and be like, "Yo, what the frick?"
They would say those exact words.
They'd be like, "Yo,
what the worm?" They'd say, "What the?
Oh,
this
that's Brad Pitt worm.
This makes me squirm. I am a worm.
This makes me squirm as a worm." So, that was the 9th one. So
that
now
was so funny.
So, so now you're probably wondering where the 10th worm is.
Tanner, please tell me, where's the 10th worm?
Well, while Billy's friend, this guy Adam was in charge of this guy Adam, which is a guy in the movie who is friends with Billy.
Yeah.
Was cooking the greasy brown toad bloater special. That he made one, and it accidentally got into this omelet that was served to the school's principal, Boilerhead, because he's bald.
Because he's bald.
So if you're bald,
Boilerhead.
And so instead, then Adam made the greasy brown toad bloater special. So they were missing one, but everybody thought that Billy ate all 10 worms, but he actually ate 9. So the day it comes, and Billy and Joe, the bully Joe, come to terms. They're like, okay, yeah, So now Joe has to walk down the school with worms in his pants, but Billy has a heart.
Yeah,
Billy has a heart, and it's just like, hey, I didn't eat the 10th worm. So then they both decide, they befriend each other, and they both decide to stick worms in their pants and walk through the halls in a glorious finish of a movie.
Yeah, that is weird.
It was a little weird.
See, I didn't think this movie was that weird until you said that.
Yeah.
I think watching it is different than hearing it. Like
it's a very weird movie.
Hearing that the movie ends with a bunch of 5th grade boys stuffing worms down their pants and walking down the hallway.
Yeah, do you remember the song that they played during that part?
Oh, man, I just watched it. I remember.
I can tell you. It was
Please do tell me.
Jungle Boogie.
Jungle Boogie. Perfect. Yeah, that was
really good. I didn't know I could do that.
That was really good. That was a new sound. You should have done that as an impression.
Thanks, man. Okay, so that's the summary, man.
Good summary, Tanner. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what do you think? What did you think of it then, and what do you think of it now? I'll let you go first.
So, like I said, as a kid, I loved this movie.
Right.
It was great. Watched it on repeat. Watched it with my sister. We laughed. This is probably the movie we watched and laughed hardest at.
Okay.
Besides Aliens in the Attic, which we'll talk about in a later podcast. That movie is great.
I can't wait.
But yeah, this movie we laughed at a lot. Specifically, some of the quotes, which we'll get to later. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and watching it again, I enjoyed it more. I think. I don't know how you feel about the movie now, but this movie might have snuck its way into like my top 20 favorite movies of all time. Maybe it's just the nostalgia. And I've seen a lot of movies.
Let me just get straight.
Yeah.
So this is in your top 20 favorite movies of all time.
Citizen Kane.
You're gonna list them. Go ahead.
How to Eat Fried Worms. That's it.
Number two.
No. I'm just saying,
one of the greatest movies ever made.
I'm putting Citizen Kane below How to Eat Fried Worms. Personally.
Okay. Continue.
Man, where do you go from there?
So you think,
but
the reason
I really liked it, not just because of the nostalgia, which is why we're doing this podcast in the first place, but because it made me feel like a kid again. This movie really felt like it was made by kids. It was about childhood fear, and then in that it was talking about, kids being afraid of mean nicknames. There's bullies. It's fitting in. There's weird stuff like the death ring and witches and Louisiana hot sauce being the hottest sauce ever. Because as a kid, you see that in your fridge, and you're like, that's probably really hot.
Dude, they sponsored the heck out of that.
They really
did.
There was
a shot of just the full-on logo.
More so than we do with our LaCroix.
Yeah, 100%.
Crazy. But yeah, and then even stuff like the whole competition, the whole bet as a whole is really kept under wraps.
Yeah.
Intensely. Like, they do not want anybody finding out that this poor boy is eating 10 worms in a day.
Yeah, Billy's dad almost found out,
yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, Billy, you got to come over to chowder."
You got to come over and eat your chowder.
Come over and eat
we
supper.
Put some in your thermos.
Thermos with worms.
With worms.
But the dad was like, "Hey, you got to come home for supper," and Billy just completely disrespected his father. It was just like, "I'll come home when I want to." He's like, "You're coming home right now, young man.
Right now. You're gonna eat noodles."
He took him, he bent him over his leg and started spanking him.
Really? Deleted scene. Got you.
Yeah.
It makes sense why they took it out.
Yeah.
Makes sense why they took it out.
But yeah, imagination and stuff It's like,
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, like to that, it doesn't make sense to us why that was kept under wraps.
Yeah.
Like as adults, we're like the stakes aren't that high because being young adults now, we see big problems in the world. We're like, who the heck cares if someone finds out I'm eating worms?
right.
But to these kids, that's the biggest deal to them.
Yeah.
And so it makes us it totally makes sense to the kids, and it's like like the whole movie felt like it was made by a kid, and it really brought me back.
sure.
That's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah, for sure.
and that's what I said.
And that's and it's like it's funny too because like the adults in the movie like act like like a kid's point of view of adults. Like they just
Yeah.
like they don't understand. They're stupid. And it's just like they're completely disconnected from the kids' world and they don't
Yeah.
understand. Like there's a scene where like the dad was trying to relate to the son and
Mm-hmm.
Billy was straight up like, yeah, maybe we're not on the same page.
Maybe Dad, stop
Yeah.
trying to be a dad,
Yeah.
and let me fall asleep.
So what I thought of it then, well, like I said, I only watched this a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Was I remember as a kid seeing the ad for it and being like, oh, I want to watch it, but I never got the chance to see it.
Yeah.
And so when I watched it for the first time a few years ago, I was like, what the heck is this? And then last night I was watching it and I was actually thoroughly surprised that I said the same reaction. What the heck is this? Because this movie's weird, dude.
So you didn't like it?
It's not in my top 20 in years, I'll tell you that. But it's okay. It's a cool concept. I like the idea that it's like there's a secret competition going on in the realm of this playground or
Yeah.
like this little school, and like you said, like it's about a kid trying to fit in, and by doing that, he actually does make friends.
Yeah.
And he does come to terms with Joe. They get along and stuff. So I actually I like it. It's a weird movie.
Mm-hmm.
You could have thought of anything else but worms.
While we're on the
Worms.
topic of weird, what did you think of the sea turtle show that Woody was doing? I don't know what was supposed to happen, but it's a teacher in a mermaid costume dinging an xylophone up in front and kids spinning in circles, and then it just goes wrong and like Woody makes a fart sound and then it's done.
The brother, Woody.
Like what was
Yeah.
supposed to happen?
I don't know.
What, was supposed to just keep spinning in circles?
That felt like a subplot. Like they're like, Woody's a sea turtle because he think.
Well, no, Woody was liked by his friends, and Billy was
Yes,
not.
And Billy was not. And
Yeah.
Billy, yeah. And then there was, hold on, dude, this is so funny. I didn't write this down for a quote,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a couple scenes where like Woody wants Billy dead. I don't know if you caught that. Like,
I wish my brother Billy was dead.
There
Yeah.
it is. You do remember? Okay, yeah. Freaking weird.
That didn't make me laugh. That made me go,
I'm like, what the
Oh.
heck is this director thinking? First and foremost.
like, am I supposed to laugh? This kid's gonna grow up and be like the Saw killer.
I loved my brother growing. I mean, we got into arguments, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I never wanted him dead.
Yeah. Well, I did kill my brother actually. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. We
Yep,
knew that.
yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so do you want to go into the quotes?
For sure. Yeah. Some
Okay.
of these quotes, I feel weird saying. Not gonna lie. You know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna
say
say
that
it.
quote. I'm
You're
gonna
that
I'm
quote?
gonna get canceled.
Okay. That's fair. I appreciate that.
You heard it here. I'm gonna get canceled right now.
But this quote, I don't even want to read the other ones because this one is going to be the best one. So I'll read the other ones first.
Okay.
One of the lines that made me laugh was when they're in Twitch's parents' kitchen and there's just catastrophic mayhem going around.
Yeah.
And then one of the kids leans over the railing and says, "Your dog is walking sideways, Twitch." It's like, what the heck? It made me laugh. It was funny. Puke has a mind of its own. That was a good one
Didn't
too.
catch that one.
I like that one. And then do you want to take it away with the next quote? This is the quote that is the reason my sister and I laughed our hearts at this movie. We would rewind this part and watch it like 20 times and make our parents watch. And they'd be like, "What are you watching?" We're like, but it's funny. So anyway,
The quote is, Woody is talking to Billy, and Woody goes, something about my dilly dink, and Billy goes, what?
what's your dilly
What's
dink?
your dilly dink? And this is the quote. Woody says, my dilly dink is my penis.
Woody has impeccable line delivery.
And I'm sitting there baffled.
So you didn't laugh.
I was like, they put that in the script. They
It's PG.
made a little.
PG.
It is okay.
For
That's probably
pretty
why.
gross.
For pretty gross. And Yeah. And
Yeah, my
and
dilly dink is my penis. Makes me laugh every time I think about him saying
I'm thinking
it.
like, what the heck is this movie? This movie, and
Oh.
like that part, and then immediately jump to the part where he's like, "I want my brother dead, dead, dead," and we're like, "Woody, are you good?
Woody's
You're a
not
sea
good.
turtle. You're talking about your dilly dink, and you want your brother dead." This kid was weird. Okay,
If they make a sequel to this movie, which I
They won't.
hope they do
They won't.
someday, they won't.
they won't.
But I would love to see a Woody movie.
How to eat 10 more fried worms. Okay, so good
How
quotes.
to Eat My Brother is the name of the next one.
I wouldn't say this movie's quotable, but it's got some different quotes.
Yeah, it's not super quotable, but
Right. Okay, traumatizing scale.
yes.
So what do you think? Do you think it's traumatizing?
It's gross,
Yeah.
and I think the one that sticks out to me most, if to go through all the worms and which one would I not like to eat, like out of
Oh.
all of them,
I already know.
for me it's the bloater special,
Yep. Wait.
the 2-in-1.
Oh, for real?
That thing comes out in a freaking container of just grease and fat
Yeah.
and snot, and he just chugs it, and just juice is dripping down his face, brown,
Oh, God, I'm not even kidding.
poo poo,
Dude, shut up.
and he spits it on Joe's face, and that is, I think as a kid I was like, ew, like that. Gross is kind of gross out humor is funny to kids, but even
Sure.
for me that was
Crossing a
being
line.
the mature young animal that I was. What? I didn't even mean to say animal. I
What
meant
the
to say
heck? Are you
child.
okay?
Being the mature young child.
Being the young worm that I was.
I think Woody's an animal. Maybe that's why. Yeah. So traumatizing? No. Gross. Very, very gross.
So I'm actually going to say the opposite. I'm going to say it was traumatizing
Okay.
because I was surprised you didn't go with the radioactive slime delight where it's just a microwaved, blown up worm.
We didn't see him eat it though.
Don't matter. Don't
Like, did
matter.
he
It's-
lick the inside of the microwave? Because there was no worm left.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I don't remember because I turned away during that scene because I was traumatized. So that's why I just think a picture like, just picturing it right now of like there's a blown up worm inside a microwave,
Which was not a real worm.
I
At
don't
the very
care.
at the very end of the movie, they say no worms were harmed in the making of this movie.
You're right,
Which is
they were
crazy
eaten.
because a lot of the worms looked very real.
They
Very, very real. I don't know how they did it. There's a scene where Max picks up a squirming worm and drops it in his mouth, and I'm like, that's a real worm. That's a real worm.
for sure,
And then he I don't know.
for sure. It's disgusting.
But I believe the fine print.
traumatized. Speaking of worm, did I ever tell you that in high school I was in a film literature class
Really?
and we had the final. So basically the whole class was that we had to watch movies.
How to eat fried worms.
No, on repeat. No, we had to watch movies.
That's my kind of film class.
It was cool. Knowing you now, I figured you would like it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was really cool. We had to watch movies, so we had to watch Citizen Kane, and we had to like talk. We had to give like a summary, like
Really?
what
Cool.
the director point of view and stuff. Like what was he trying to get the attention of? Different shots. And
Mm-hmm.
the final project was we had to make a 10 to 15 minute movie, like a short little film.
Yeah.
And my film, I kid you not, it was on my YouTube channel, but now it's not because I took it down because they
Do you
copyrighted.
want to plug your YouTube channel?
No,
Okay.
no. If you look at
It's
my name,
Worm
if
Boy.
you look at my
It's
name,
Worm Boy.
If you look at my name,
Worm
you'll
Boy
find it.
Ruglish?
It's really stupid, but the movie was called, I kid you not, The Gummy Worm Man. Okay, I'm not kidding. The movie, and I'll give you a quick little like summary.
For
of it.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
The movie was basically Spider-Man, but instead of a spider, it was a gummy worm, and like he gets sugar on his hands when he starts like getting his powers, and the whole time, it was a really dumb movie. It was so dumb.
I want to see this.
I'll show it to you sometime. Maybe in our Patreon.
We should plug this in the link and like in the bio
Okay,
of this YouTube video.
I'll try to do it. I'll try
You
my
can
best.
find it.
And the whole thing was like the brother is the bad guy in the whole movie,
Mm.
which reminds me of Woody in this movie. I'm just kidding, but yeah, it was really dumb.
Bragging on Woody.
And I got an A+, so it was good.
Nice.
So yeah, okay. Our Totten Tomato.
Totten Tomato score.
So Rotten Tomatoes gives this a 61% on the tomato meter.
Too low.
I didn't look up the audience score because I don't really care about it.
Okay.
But the tomato score, or what did I just say? Tomato meter?
Tomato meter. Yeah.
Tomato meter was 61%, which surprises me. I would
Too
have thought
low.
this was
Too low.
too high. Too
I was
high.
thinking-
61%.
I was thinking going in before I checked the score, I was thinking, okay, this is gonna get at least a 79%. Like that was the visual going into the website. I'm like, I'm gonna look it up. I'm hoping for 79%. I saw 61, and I was disappointed. I really was, because this movie does something that few movies do, and it really, really brings me back to the feeling of being a kid, just because it is so much from a kid's perspective.
Okay.
And a lot of movies try to do that, and this one really succeeds. And I liked all the subplots with with the dad and with Woody, and I think all the characters seemed real.
Okay. Okay.
And that's impressive for a kids movie.
So what would you give your Rotten Tomatoes?
For my Rotten Tomatoes score, I would. Oh, I haven't even thought about this yet. Give yours first while I think of a Rotten Tomatoes score.
So on the percentage of 0 being the worst movie, 100% being the best, I'd give this. I'd give it a 38 because while I think the movie was too weird for me. Like the whole concept of worms. Like it could have been anything other than worms, and I'd have been like, fine, that's cool. Like he's trying.
Have
to
you
fit
ever
in.
eaten a worm as a kid, Tanner?
So anyway,
be honest.
no, I have not actually. I ate rocks as a kid. I'm not kidding. Me and my sister.
Oh my god! Like lava rocks or
pebbles.
Oh my goodness!
On like a playground, and we're just like.
I'm sorry. You were like what? Wow. I have eaten worms.
For what?
I ate a worm. I don't know.
This is breaking news.
I don't know how I'm just getting to this, but yeah, I definitely ate a worm on my school playground in front of all the kids watching, and I felt awesome. Like I felt like I could fly to the moon, watching all these girls eat this worm.
Oh, dude!
I didn't chew it. I swallowed it, and it wasn't even a dare. It's like, look what I can do. Pick it up, slurp it. Girls, middle school boy. That's like, oh, they like me now. These girls.
That's it.
I am Worm Boy, and that's why I like the nickname.
Got it. Okay.
Because I was Worm Boy. I was Worm Boy.
Oh, that's why.
And then I got yelled at by a teacher.
Young man, you spit that worm out of your mouth right now.
They're like, you can't eat worms.
What
on
are you,
the playground.
dumb and stupid?
What are you, an animal? Clearly.
Oh gosh, dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah. So that's why, like, you get why they were so afraid of people.
Now I know why this is in your top 20.
Yeah,
okay, this
yeah.
resonates close to home. Okay.
I should have brought this up much
You
sooner.
should have brought this up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For all you people who stuck around, there you go.
I can't believe you hate him. This like outside the podcast. I'm bringing this up. Like,
man.
I'm like, what the heck? So, what was your Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes. It's good.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
I usually try to come up with something wacky, some
Okay.
wacky number. I say usually. We've only done this once before.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the worms. I'm trying to think of a worm that I think would match the score. Like, what worm could I make that would match 79%? And in my opinion,
Oh, so you're giving it 79?
I'm giving it a 79.
Okay.
But
Moving forward.
translated to worm, I would say this movie was a Nightcrawler dipped in marshmallow. Dude, I would eat that. I'd eat that. You know what? I'll call this movie was a barf-mellow. This movie was a barf-mellow. You can't tell me you watched that scene and didn't think, dang, that actually looks kind of
Bad.
kind of good.
No.
Bro, you just see all the marshmallow fluff on his face. It wasn't even red. Like there's ketchup in it, but you don't see it. All you see is the fluff. And I would just eat that stuff by the spoonful as a kid. So I watched that movie. I thought, I could do that. Give me another.
Okay, give me another.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Okay, so you give it a 79. And
I'll give it a
whatever the heck
79.
you just said about it, Barfmellow. Cool. Okay, man. Well, that's all I got. Do you have any closing remarks that you want to talk about this movie?
I was
Besides
surprised.
The breaking news that Ben ate a worm.
I don't think it's like breaking news.
It's breaking news.
I feel like
to
a
me.
lot of people ate worms as a kid.
Not
At
me.
least one.
I was not. Leave
You were not a
below.
kid?
Leave your comments below if you ate worms as a kid. I want to make Ben feel a little better about this. So.
Please do. Just reel them all in.
Real it is.
You see what I did there?
Oh my
See what I
gosh.
did there? I don't think I have. Ringworm. Real. I don't have anything. I don't have anything else to say. I don't really. Yeah.
Cool.
I really enjoyed the movie. I liked it more than Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Okay, I did not. I disagree with you on that.
You like Shark Boy and Lava Girl more because you said you didn't care for that one that
Well,
much.
I grew up watching that one though.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
that's probably why.
Well, I
This
grew up
one's
watching-
just
yeah.
weird. This one, I feel
Yeah.
like I was just like, I felt like I was like, like you had a weird friend growing up, and they're just like, "You want to see my favorite movie?"
I think I
I'm
was.
like,
I
"Sure,
think I was
sure,
the weird
man. I mean,
friend.
we're hanging out at your house. Do you want to watch it?" And your parent made pizza rolls for us, so I guess we got to watch this movie. He's like, "Great, my favorite movie is How to Eat Fried Worms." And I'm like, "Okay, Okay, that works.
That was me as a kid.
That's Ben.
Are there worms in these
That was
pizza
that
rolls?
was Ben as a kid.
You put worms in my pizza rolls? Getting into the spirit of the movie.
You mean to
man.
tell me you mean to tell me you don't like worms in your pizza rolls? I'm like, bro, I was wanting pepperoni. You put freaking worms.
I feel like pepperonis could be worms, though. We don't know what pepperoni is made out of.
Oh.
For all we know, it could be worms.
Good gosh. Okay, that's disgusting. I'm not giving that up.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I got nothing else. Are you good?
I'm good, yeah. Do we want to
You
tell
good?
them
You
what...
you feel better from when you ate it?
I feel like it, yeah.
You want to tell them about what?
That was my... do you want to tell them about next week's episode? Do you know what we're doing? Do we want to tell them?
We shouldn't. We should keep it a surprise every time.
Keep it a
maybe.
surprise. It's holes.
You heard it here first, folks. Shia LaBeouf's holes.
Come back now. Oh, we will...
Oh!
Shia LaBeouf in holes.
Digging up them holes.
Digging up
dude.
them holes.
Digging up Shia LaBeouf's holes.
So next week, tune in. We're going to watch Holes, and you will be listening to us talk about it.
That's right. If you want to follow us on Instagram. Oh, I guess I'll plug every time.
Yeah, plug your podcast.
At Tanner Reckledge. That's Twitter, Instagram.
LaCroix Boy Ben on Instagram.
And then my other two podcasts, Grow and Go Podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And then Talk Time with Andrew only on Spotify right now. We're working on getting it everywhere else. And now Reel It In. So, boom. Make sure to watch, subscribe. I feel like such a freaking 12-year-old right now.
Smash all the buttons.
Smash that like button, though.
Smash that like button. Share it with your
Share it
friends.
with your friends.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Keep it real.
Keep it real.